I recently bought the new iPhone 17 base model in lavender, and I want to talk a bit about what I like and I don't like about this new phone. So here is the aforementioned iPhone 17 in lavender. It's actually quite a beautiful color, if I do say so myself. I was considering getting it in the sage color, and the black and the white. Actually, I considered all the color options except the blue one. But I landed on the lavender because at the time that was the one that was available and could be delivered. So that's what I chose. And I came from Android. I've used Android for a long time. I switched to iPhone when the iPhone 14 came out in 2023, I think. I was quite disappointed with the phone, primarily because of the smaller things, smaller factors like the 60 hertz screen, and that was the generation where the dynamic island didn't come to the base model. It just came on the later versions, the 15, 16, and 17 models. So because of the reasons I mentioned, I didn't quite like the iPhone 14. I thought it was a slow, janky phone. So I switched to an S24 Ultra, and then to a Z Fold 6, and then back to the iPhone 17. I was quite surprised by the phone. It blew me back a bit with the pro features that Apple chose to deliver to the iPhone 17 base model this year. They took the 120 Hz ProMotion display, put it on the 17. I think they upped the RAM, but I'm not quite sure about that. They upgraded the camera, gave it the center stage, if they call it on this one, the webcam, where the camera follows you around. And they did other things that I cannot quite remember at the moment. So, what I like about this phone is that, to be honest, I like the Apple environment. You could call me an Apple sheep if you'd like. I think the Apple things are really sleek. They're minimalistic and just quite nice to look at. To be honest, everyone has them, so you see them everywhere. You get influenced. I got influenced at least. So I decided to get one, and I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can see it correctly. It's beautiful. And what I really like, I love the screen. The screen is really bright, beautiful. High pixel density. They have the Retina display in Apple. Also, the hardware is fantastic, but the software is also really nice. Some people don't like the Apple software. They think it's slow and clunky and whatnot, not very customizable, which they improved with the liquid glass, which given not everyone's a fan of, but to be honest, I quite like the fluidity between the devices, between the MacBook and the watch, the phone, the iPad, so on. The software, is really pleasant because everything seems pretty intentional, even though you might not understand why they did it. I'm trying to find the settings here. Not everything I can explain at least, but there's a reason behind it. For example, a lot of people complain about the Android back buttons not available on iPhone, I heard. If you don't know, Androids have a universal back button that you can press or swipe from the side, and then you go back. And it works everywhere. It works in any app, And sometimes it can get a little clunky, but it works everywhere. Apple has a similar feature, to be honest. They have the swipe from the side. So if you're in settings, for example, let me get it right here. You can swipe from the side to go back, like this. Not everyone knows you can do this, but it's nice. For example, in Safari, you can also go back on websites. And it works in a lot of apps actually. So it's just to experiment. This phone starts at $799 in USA. I'm from Denmark, so I pay 25% extra, but that's just how it is. And it's actually a good price because they upgraded so many features compared to their usual models, the usual base models, 15, 16 and down. They upgraded the display, the cameras, the front camera. The display is the exact same as the iPhone 17 Pro. They upgraded the base storage from 128 gigabytes to 256, which is absolutely amazing. 128 is a little low, and especially when you had a lot of phones, you tend to carry your data over. So it just, for a lot of people, it's not enough with 128 anymore. So on to the things I don't like about Apple or iPhones as much as I did with Androids. Androids have a very, very high level of customization, and that's very apparent in Apple that you don't have. Even though it's increased a lot lately, they've improved the customization with the lock screen that you have so many. You have a lot of customizable features. You can customize your clock, everything, and you can even turn the liquid glass on or off. If you can see here, there's the glass here, and then there's the solid here. So you can remove the liquid glass aspect some places, and some places in the settings you can also remove or tone down the liquid glass at least. But in Android, there's something called Good Lock, which gives you the ability to customize practically anything you want. You can customize when you swipe up from the phone. You can see here you have your apps here, right? They just slide back and forth. You can make it a grid, so you have all your windows side by side in a 2x2. And there's something called One Hand Plus, I'm pretty sure, where it's intended for bigger phones, where you can do everything you want with your thumb. You can control what does when you swipe from the right to the left, from the left to the right, from the right to the left, up and down. If you do it and hold in each direction, you can make it open apps, do things, kind of like the action button on the iPhone. So I kind of miss the high level of customization in Android, but I've gotten used to it, and it's nice not having to think about what I want to do with my phone. There's so many options that make it kind of paralyzing to customize the phone. So sometimes I just didn't bother because it'd take an hour or two to look through the stuff, see what I wanted. Here it's just, you get what you get. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And I happen to like it, so that's great. But I do miss the customization sometimes. And the options in the Apple ecosystem, especially the phones, is very limited. In Android, it's very broad. You have OnePlus, Samsung, Huawei, even though they're not as big anymore. I had a Huawei P20 Pro a few years back. It was a great phone. The best camera I had. So talking about the options, there were a lot in Android. It's a whole community, you can say, and you just have the free iPhone 4, the base, the Air, the Pro, and the Pro Max. So if you don't like the Apple way, then you cannot get. Even if you wanted an iPhone, you just have to accept the Apple way. You cannot have your own way. But with Android, there's so many options: Google, Samsung, Huawei, OnePlus, you name it, Honor, Red Magic, so on. I could go on forever. There's so many options. So if you're picky about what you like and you don't happen to like Apple, then one of the billion Android companies have something in store for you. So that's the good thing about Android. There's something for everybody if they don't like iPhone. Do I think it's worth it for me to have gotten an iPhone? And I think yes. I absolutely love this thing, but I think I'm in a phase of minimalism. I love minimalistic things, even though the price of Apple is maximalistic, but the design language is very sleek, and I think I'm in that era of my life. So I am in love with the normal but minimalistic thing. There's not a lot going on here. But the Huawei Mate XT with the faux leather back and in red, if I remember correctly, with gold borders. They're trifolds, or it's actually a bifold because it folds twice. But anyways, the price I can put right here is for the rich people or the one who have a lot of money they don't know what to do with. Even though it would be fun to have to play around with, but maybe some other time. Anyways, point is that I like this sleek, minimalistic, and calm design. This lavender is very. I don't even know if you can see the color, maybe a little at the camera bump, but it's practically not there. If I have this matte cover, trying to put it back in here. You cannot see the color of the phone through here, so it's very down-toned, which is great. So I don't feel like making a statement with my phone. If I had gotten the Huawei Mate XT trifold in red, then I would be trying to make a statement that, to be honest, I don't know what kind of statement that I have a lot of money. I don't know, something along the lines of that at least. But I like the calm design of the iPhone, and in the end, then that's all there is to it. I like that it's simple. I've had a lot of not so simple phones. The Samsung S24 Ultra is a break. I actually have it right here. Let me see if I can get it out. It's quite a break. I think I could hurt myself with this if I dropped it in my face. It's painful. But it was fun at the time because I felt like trying to make that shift. But I think the iPhone is worth it. So thank you for watching, and if you like the video, please subscribe and like the video. That'll help a lot. Thank you so much.